Who is Hriyananda Baba and how did I meet him and what is his story? Yesterday, when I was putting up the thumbnail for the previous video, I saw that included Hriyananda Baba's image. So, who is Hriyananda Baba? How many years ago this happened? Hriyananda Baba is no more, but his memory lives on. So, in 2014, maybe slightly earlier than that, one of my close friends from Mumbai said that Hriyananda Baba would like to meet you. So I said okay, and I took a bus from Bangalore and I reached a place called Kamareddy. This is approximately 100 or 150 kilometers north of Hyderabad. So when I reached over there, I took a hotel and I stayed there. And early in the morning, I landed up at his ashram because I knew the place was given to me in the map. So I landed up over there, and there were lots of disciples sitting in room. So I too went and sat over there. The moment it was time for Hriyananda Baba to come in, everybody was very excited. I also wanted to meet this person for the first time, so naturally, when I was meeting him, I wanted to see how he looks like, what does he do. A very old gentleman entered with a long flowing beard. He had a tremendous amount of tej on his face, which means the divinity was literally shining from his face. He entered very slowly and went and sat in his chair. And then he looked up all around and he rested his eyes on me. And then he looked at me and he said, Bangalore Guruji. Bangalore Guruji has come to see me. I'm so happy. Please come. Everybody started looking around. Now, who is this Bangalore Guruji? He called me, he pulled up a chair and bade me to sit over there. Before that, he embraced me and he said, I'm so happy that you have come. The rest of the day went about only in a language which I don't understand. He was talking to his disciples in Telugu. I don't understand a word of it. And then he started his satsang. The satsang ended somewhere in the afternoon. Then he looked at me and he said, you will definitely have meal with us. And he took me inside and there he laid out a very beautiful table and a chair only for me. And the family members over there started serving me food. He just stood there like a child in front of me and he told me to eat the meal. I ate the entire meal and he just kept on looking at me. I told him, you should be having your meal also. He says, no, I want to see you eat. Then later on, I came out and I sat there amongst all the disciples. Most of them only know one language, that is the local language. So there was one gentleman who was a translator. So I could speak in English and Hindi, and this gentleman could translate it for others. By afternoon, everybody was listening to stories from my mouth. My story sessions continued. So while I was telling them the stories, I asked them, do they know how their Guruji, that is Swami Hriyananda, was initiated? They said, no, we don't know. We have never heard about it. So I will tell you a story. He was initiated by two very important people. One person was Shri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. And that too, it happened somewhere in the late 60s, if I am not mistaken. And prior to that, he was initiated by another person. And that person was Upasani Maharaj. I was just saying these words and Baba enters over there. So Swami Hriyananda looks at me and he says, why are you giving away my secrets to my disciples? I said, Baba, you should have told them how you were initiated and what exactly happened with you. So he says, till today I had never revealed this to anyone. But since Bangalore Guruji is over here, so I am going to tell you all this story. And that was the first time he revealed the entire story to all his disciples, telling them how this whole thing happened. He was a very highly educated person. He was a vice chancellor of a university in Andhra Pradesh, the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh. Now it is called Telangana. He was a very highly educated and a very noble person. He told them a beautiful story. First, let me tell you how Ramakrishna Paramahansa came in his life. He used to be given quarters by the university. So every night he used to be disturbed by somebody who would come and sit next to him. That particular night, or should I say early in the morning, someone came and started tugging at his blanket. This person kept on tugging at it and saying, you have to get up, you have to get up. Swamiji he was very reluctant to get up. This person then caught hold of his hand, raised him and gave a very tight slap and said, you should get up when I am telling you something. So Swamiji got up and then this person said, sit over there. There is a book which belongs to your father. Why don't you open the page and read from it? Swamiji opened the book to a page and started reading. He was made to read the same thing for quite some time. Now, this was in the twilight hours of the morning. After some time, the person said, "Now stop, and you can go back to your bed." And then this person disappeared. This was Shri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. And the scripture that was told to recite was Devi Mahatmyam or Saptashati. The page which was opened was about Chandima. After that, he went to sleep, and when his wife came to wake him up in the morning, she looked at his face. She said, "What's wrong with your face? It appears that somebody has slapped you." So when he got up, he immediately remembered that Sri Ramakrishna had come and he had actually woken him up, and the slap marks were there. So he understood that from that day onwards, his journey had begun. The slap in spirituality means initiation, for those who don't know about it. Then, that was the story how he was initiated into the Chandi mantra by Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. And that was the first part of the story. The second part of the story, which was Upasani Maharaj. It so happened that one day, or rather one night, a similar incident happened. There was a knock on the door, and he was made to open the door. And one gentleman was standing outside, and he said, "See, I have brought all the samagri for the Chandi Homa. You are going to sit over there and you are going to do this Chandi Homa." This was Upasani Maharaj. Those who know Upasani Maharaj used to be a devotee of Saibaba of Shri. About 15 kilometers from Shri is a place where his ashram is today. And Upasani Maharaj came and woke him up and made him do the Chandi mantra, the Chandi Homa. And this is how he got into the Chandi part, as well as the initiation of the Chandi. Now, this story he had never told any of his disciples or devotees before, and that was the first time he was telling. Everybody was surprised. They asked me later on, "How is it that you know all these things?" So I had to tell them that I was meeting Swamiji for the first time in my life in this body. But he knows me for many lifetimes. Likewise, I know him for many lifetimes. So these are two stories I just wanted to tell you how I met him and what exactly transpired. Today, Swami Hriyananda is not with us. He left his mortal coil a few years back, and that too by itself is another story. But that is for another day. If you wish to go to Chandi Mantralayam, that is his ashram, it is in Kamareddy, north of Hyderabad. I think it is more than 100 kilometers from Hyderabad city. You can go and visit his ashram over there. It is now run by his son. So definitely you can have the darshan of his samadhi over there. Thank you very much for watching.